Howdy folks, it's your lovable GM, Jonathan. You're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. We are so excited to share our latest episode, but first I wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor ArcKnight, whose props, maps, and minis make our game a delight. They've released a new Kickstarter featuring hardbound support for the 5e starter set Lost Mines of Phandelver. This includes custom maps and minis as well as a new carrying case, which is of great interest to me. Been trying to figure out how to store all my minis, and let's just say it's getting a little frustrating. So go check out their campaign and nab yourself some of the best maps and minis this side of the tabletop. That's ARCKNIGHT. Also want to give a shout out to Gord McAlpin, who did the artwork for our show, as well as KiloWhat, who created some absolutely amazing portraits of our horny heroes. Finally, I want to give a shout out to Michaela Garrison, who edited this week's episode. You can find her over on Insta at Michaela J. Garrison, and her dog Arrow over there as well at Arrow Perro. And now, on with the show.
Friends, fiends! When last we spoke, our heroes found themselves dealing with a bit of familiar fallout, courtesy of Fetter and his old man Drago. Turns out abandoning your kids makes for a shaky reunion. At least he wasn't Rakshasa, am I right? Anyway, hand me a couple pails of your finest ale, and I'll fill you in on more of these Demon Dayz.
As the day becomes noonish and meals are being made, the crew they're still doing repairs. You all wake up at your tents. You hear running outside, just running past all the tents, and you catch a glimpse of Cadence just jogging around the tower. Up and at him, ready to go. Pop, pop, pop. Not a care in the world and not even affected from the other night.
Suit, prestidigipen, cleaned,
Yeah.
the whole way, like... There's
your
going to be
outdoor suit or your indoor suit?
At this point, if there's a boat here, I think it's the indoor suit.
Oh, cute.
And just like hair done, there's going to be a very different Fetter this morning than...
A much more composed Fetter?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, Taz. Before we greet the world, now, prestidigipen, I can clean you up a bit if you want. Happy to do it.
Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really like the tears in my fancy new stuff and
Sure.
blood.
Yeah. While I'm, like, doing a light pass over Taz, I'll be like, so, friend, I was hoping we'd all be here, but feeling this is still on the boat, so what do you want to do now? Where do you want to go?
Well, I want to stay far away from Skypoint, especially after all of that.
Yeah. Seems like...
I have this inkling that there are more towers. We were in the north, this is in the east. There has to be a tower in the south and
in the west. And how it all plans together, and this obviously worked, and some of those maybe didn't, and yeah. This is cults to the south, yeah. Religious monastic institution.
Isn't Yusa from the south too? Not as far south, but
Yeah, maybe.
south.
I don't know. I got a little fired up last night. I feel like I'm gonna have to grease some hands and deal with my father, however that all works out, but yeah. You tug on my shoulder 3 times, and or you tug on the jacket, and you know the deal.
Mm-hmm. I know how to tug on things.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Leysa does like a somersault off the boat and like adorably lands and like walks over to the tent.
Shaking it out, like...
Yeah. She's like got her new staff and she's just like flipping it around in her hands, having some fun. She's like,
Got a good sexy sleepy meditation-y.
knock knock guys.
Yusuf is outside kneeling, meditating, and there's a large elk next to him
No.
on that side.
Oh boy, more. Good morning, Yusuf. I'm assuming that's with you?
Yes.
Fantastic. Does it turn into a little statue too?
No, he's just around. This is Gallahan.
Gallahan, fantastic.
Aww.
Good morning, good Sir Gallahan.
You hear in the distance, coming closer, running. Cadence is just doing another lap around. Hi, guys.
Kate.
Whoa, whoa.
No,
Okay.
no.
What?
No, let her go.
All right.
She's running in place. I'm burning off some energy.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool.
Off you go.
Sorry.
And she's going around.
I just needed a beat.
How was the arm?
Great, fine. I'm fine. Feel great. Feel really great. Dragonborn are cool. So, where are we going next? Are we staying? What's the deal with you and your dad?
I think those two things don't have to be inextricably linked.
Sure. The crystal ball, though.
Yeah.
Taslin told me that it says what we need to know, and what we needed to know is that there are people coming after us.
Mm-hmm.
And that your dad was around. And apparently I have a mom and she's bad.
Yeah, subjective term, but yeah.
We didn't really get to talk to Yusuf much. I know he was very upset. Yusuf?
Yeah, Yusuf.
Like, do you need us to go somewhere?
Right. We kind of want to figure out, before we get up on the deck of the boat and I have to deal with all of that.
Yeah, I think it's the four of us right now. We should just get on the same page. Is Squoil still here?
As far as you know, she's still on the boat.
Okay.
In my vision, I saw that the gnomes were being taken to Skypoint, right?
Right. Judging by the banners and the soldiers and the armor and how they're just being shackled and walked out, yeah.
Oh, I drew up a contract for Scoil overnight.
Okay.
And I have that. I can talk to her about it later, but...
Well, I know that Taz originally said she needed to go to Skypoint, and I was...
Nope.
Originally said you needed to go to Skypoint.
Oh.
When we were in Trost. And I was happy to go because it sounded like she needed to. After seeing what the tower showed us, I need to go.
To Skypoint?
The gnomes have been captured and probably are going to be sold into slavery,
Right.
if not worse.
But shouldn't we start there? I mean, and start on the ground and then follow towards... I mean, Skypoint's fucking huge. It's like 3 trusts.
Right, and if it just happened in the last couple of days, then they're probably still marching back.
Right.
This is easily solved. Hold on. And I reach into the bag of holding and pull out the crystal ball.
Right, but Yusuf, remember, we've lost a 10-day. I mean, who knows when in that 10-day span.
I mean,
in the
that was the
tower-
last thing we did before we went to the top floor.
It's true, and my dad seemed to be on the way, as were our horsey friends. Who knows where in that dilation that occurred, or when that occurred.
Right, so my plan would be to go to Skypoint and then start heading towards the gnome Dagnarus and meet with them on the road. I would rather not deal with the forces of the city in the city.
If you give me a second, I can probably figure more information out about that using this.
Go for it.
What exactly are you wanting to know? Like where they are, what happened, if they're still alive? I need something a little bit more concrete.
Well, I know my friend is dead. I know that one of my friends is missing. I know the other one was shackled. I suppose it would be easiest to start with her. Which one was missing and which one was taken out of the two?
The simulacrum you didn't see.
Okay.
So you saw the prime being taken.
Right.
It's still hard to tell 100%, but
Was her hair pink or blue, I mean?
it was pink.
Would I have had anything of hers that she would have given me, like a trinket or something that I would be carrying, or is it?
Not really. They
Okay.
weren't sentimental quite in that way.
Yeah, that's not what I figured. So, there's a gnome. Did I ever find out if it was like a copy, a clone, or if it was a twin?
A simulacrum. It was made by a wizard. So yeah, essentially for all intents and purposes, it's another one of her. Flesh and blood. Just
Right.
Can't heal from damage. That sort of thing.
The only thing I can think of to focus in on is Zafina. She's a gnome. She's a bard. There would be one tied to her. I don't know if she's still alive, but she is, for all intents and purposes, exactly the same person. Focus on an angry gnome.
You know what? Just put your hand on my shoulder and
Think about
we'll
her.
do it together.
Okay.
Okay. Just think about who you want to know, who you want to see. Ready?
Yep.
All right. This might take a little bit. So 10 minutes takes me to channel this. It's secondhand for me, but technically he's like assisting. You can either decide whether it's like firsthand knowledge or familiar knowledge
Okay.
with him, which that'll affect their modifier.
If it's from him, it's gonna be harder for them
Yes.
to save.
Yes. We don't have like a connection modifier because I don't even have like a picture of the person, so that's out the window. It's just about knowledge.
So if they succeed the save, you guys can see them, or
If they
have to.
fail the save, then I can see them. If they succeed on the save, then the spell's blocked.
right, so within that 10 minutes, fortunately, there was no save. So
what happens, again, assuming they're alive, which you might tell me that they're not in a second, and they fail the save, then essentially the crystal ball creates an invisible window that we see in the crystal ball that's within 10 feet of the target, and we can see and hear through that, and it kind of like follows them around. But they don't necessarily know that it's there.
the view, you see a collapsed building, and partially outside of it, you see remains with the color of pink hair, and you don't detect any life.
Hand just goes up to yours, pats.
I mean, I'm not really surprised by this. She probably tried to get away and fight free. Because, she was feisty and always angry.
While you're in it, Taslin, do maybe roll an Arcana.
20. Dirty 20.
You see that view, and you question to Yusuf if that was the one he referred to, and he corrects you, saying Prime, and the view shifts. You see a trail of gnomes being led to Skypoint through the Hollow Valley in shackles, and you see Prime is alive, fairly bruised and battered, but they're all being guided along, and they're nearing most of the way there, about 3/4. So you were able to pivot the view with that extra little push.
Well, this is also visible to everyone else as well.
Oh, one thing that probably confused matters a little bit is that the simulacrum was also her.
By my understanding, they could be anywhere, and we're roughly 200 miles away. There's no way we can get there in time without magic before they get to Skypoint. Can I see how many people were guarding them? Like how big the trail was?
It only lets you see within a 10-foot radius of the person.
So then, yeah, it seems like there's a good guard amongst them all. Like this was a very organized, just from what you can tell and see, very organized.
They went in force and they broke through the enchantment and found their way in. So
if there's anyone on the road, everyone's probably given that train a bit of a berth.
Take my hand off your shoulder.
I end the spell. Well, that's in real time.
So, what can we do?
My path leads to Skypoint.
Since Taz and I's most prescient and immediate needs seem to have been dealt with, you saw some rather troubling visions as well, yeah?
Yes.
Do we need to go? My intention here is not to pit one interest against the other, but
I don't know. I want to go back and help my people, but what's done is done, and my mom could still be there in the south. I am more concerned about what's happened here. We don't know who's after. Another rift just opened up on the top of that tower. Your family might be involved. You say things have been dealt with, but have they? If your family's involved, we need to know.
I thought it had been fairly clear.
No, I mean, we need to know what their involvement is and why us.
Is this, in fact, a mirror of what happened to us? Or is it coincidence? I mean...
There's no coincidence here, Feder. I think we've ruled that out with 3 rifts opening up in the sky.
Yeah.
I think Skypoint feels dangerous at this point because of what's following us.
Yeah.
I think that being on a ship that can travel through the air and maneuver outside of the bounds of physics helps us.
I say that things with my family at this point they're not settled as in completed, as it's just the only answers I'm going to get are to draw one of them from the hells, or for us to go kick the door in a very similar looking tower. I'm half of a mind to trying to find the nearest portal and go straight to Dis. Try to just get answers. Muling about, kicking over old temples, trying to... I'd much rather look my family in the eye and demand answers.
But what about... yes. But we could also find this cult. They've been present at both locations.
Were they here?
Yes, they were helping your aunt.
Yeah.
She said the cultists were coming, I assume they're the same.
Right, to collect the bodies and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this cult, and it just wants...
So...
To open up the abyss? But your granddad's helping? There's a lot of questions that...
And I mean, I would say there's a case to be made to head south, continue in a direction, see your people, but that doesn't do anything about the immediacy of the concern at Skypoint.
They might know some things, but I don't know. What would we do for the gnomes?
Yusuf? Full-scale war?
And you had to go to Skypoint, but you don't have to go anymore?
I want to stay far away from Skypoint.
Will those riders come back if we go to Skypoint?
No, I'm sure they will follow me.
Well, the riders are following Taz. They seem to not know.
Did you put that ring on?
Yes?
That should help.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If the riders are following Taz, or by extension any of us, and...
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes, Taz?
I kind of like flag down Cadence.
She's conveniently not
right
in her
there.
eye.
Just wait for her to go by.
Hey,
whoa.
hey.
Oh,
So
thanks. This is getting boring.
How long ago did the writers kind of like pop up from being done over the sea? You said they were searching for stuff over the sea. Like how long ago was that when they stopped being aimless and over the sea?
Oh, and we heard that they were on the move. Probably, maybe a couple weeks ago.
Fetter, how long have we been out of that mountain?
Couple weeks.
Yeah, we're on the 24th day. Yeah.
Why? What's up?
It's the blood.
Whose blood? There's been a lot of blood.
Who do you think?
Ours? Yours? Yes.
The ring isn't going to do anything.
Your blood's haunted?
Yes. It is haunted.
Shit.
Boo.
Oh, so...
So you have Toll the Dead too, huh?
I do.
Oh, so...
Yes, it is haunted.
So,
Boo.
hold on. Let me see. So your blood activates the machine. Your blood activates access to the tower. They find out you're at the tower. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. The second we got out of the mountain, I popped back up. That's when they were done searching the oceans. And now that we use the blood to get into the tower, and maybe even the crystal ball, maybe even that level, like, shot them a pinpoint, because who knows how long we were at that level before we got to the top.
Well, we
Are you
know it
saying
was...
they're tracking you
10
literally by
days.
scent somehow? Of
By
your blood?
blood.
We've used the blood to turn on, essentially, magical items.
Beacons.
Yeah.
Both of which were towers.
I still think the ring's a good idea.
The ring's a great idea because
would not
that way
take it
they
off.
won't be able to, like, try and do
The thing
brain
they were
touchy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think
Oh.
it's gonna. Hush. No. It's okay. And I just
no.
like reach over and start petting.
Oh, that's nice.
Petting her hair.
I'm just
Wait,
trying to follow along as best. I'm
So-
confused, but
so you're being hunted? My mom comes out of nowhere after 24 years and is hunting.
From what you told us,
You've been booted.
were they riding the same horses that we saw last
No,
night?
her horse didn't have flames.
Didn't?
They're different, right? We've already...
Yeah, because
Yes,
that was
they're different.
That was asked.
yep.
Yeah. Mom's horse is different. She's coming from Dis. Like, she's one of them. I'm pretty sure. Because she's, like, coming in dreams, and she's, like, here for me. And your family's being weird with you.
My family's always...
But, like, weirder.
yeah, they're not being as transparent with their
And
communications.
Yusuf got found by an elk. I'm just saying, you guys. I think we all smell right now.
Yeah. So, is there...
I don't think they're searching for me by scent, but
Right. I mean,
magical
I think she's
tether.
thinking
Yeah.
in a metaphoric sense.
I sniff my underarm.
I
No,
just
the
did the
prestige
pen.
of
I
it. Yes,
just
it
did
did
the pen.
great.
But the question is, do we hide in the opposite side of the world, or do we hide in plain sight in the biggest city on the continent?
Cadence pops up. Is it something you guys did in the tower? If you're being hunted, did you guys just be like, here we are in the tower?
No.
Is like a giant antenna or some fucking thing?
No,
Maybe
we didn't.
not intentionally.
And I will use deception on that. That would be a 21, Jonathan.
Almost. Had a 20.
Yep. Nope.
Ah, so close.
No, sorry.
In addition to all this, the place where Yusuf lived, that's been fortified for a long time, I'm assuming, it's finally been broken.
There was an enchantment protecting the area. It was an illusion. It would make the whole city disappear.
Sure, and that's gone now.
Yes.
I just don't think this can all be coincidence. Something was hiding me. Not hiding me, but my mom just wasn't aware for a long time. She could have come and gotten me on any of my missions if she'd wanted to, if she was trying. I traveled a lot.
Yeah. But people are acutely aware that we're out in the world and we're doing things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your family knew because you've been communicating through the book?
Yeah.
You were on missions for them and then something changed. All the stuff in your book got weird, right?
Yeah.
I've been moving around for years specifically to keep these guys off my tail.
And now they're here.
But my side of this got weird the closer to the tower I got. So I think that, in my case, I think it's very specifically the fact that I came here, and my family obviously had a secret here. I can't say that if we were to go to one of the other towers or activate some other beacon, that my family specifically would have the same effect. I think there was something very specific about this tower.
What did they think of you being at the other tower? You were gone for a long time. We all were.
Yeah, but...
We were turned off.
But when I came back online, they were just like, where were you? Why were you gone? If my aunt was in league with the cult 100 years ago when this thing went off, they didn't seem to be aware that the same cult kidnapped me. Or they're lying to me. But when I came back online, after being gone, it was business as usual. Go finish your jobs. Go to Trust. Help us find a way into,
What about before? Before you went offline?
Before I went offline, I was on a job. I was on a mission.
Whose mission?
Who sent you? Your family?
Yeah.
Of course.
Which one of your family?
It was Tiamat, yeah?
Yeah.
Not your mom.
No, my mom doesn't give missions. My mom...
And why's your dad here? Of all places. Why did he jump on this ship? You've got to talk to him. We need some, and this is too weird. It's all too weird.
It's too convenient that he's here. That's true. And I suppose I
he's
should...
on an airship that's hunting the very thing that's been hunting me for the past 12 years?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's all fairly... I suppose I should be very explicit since it came out yesterday. One of my aunt's lovers, co-workers, agents, is a Rakshasa. And he is a hunter. And when we've gone off in the past, when my mother's tried to escape or anything, he is the one they send to try to talk me back or drag me back. His name's Melithar. He can look like any one of us. That was part of my fears with my father, is it would be the one person that maybe I would actually want to see, and I just didn't trust it. But it's too convenient for him to be gone this long and just to pop up out of nowhere.
You need to talk to him.
I suppose. I take no great pleasure in it. Sounds like he fucked up, lost his ship, and ended up with this lot, so I don't know if there's much we'll learn.
They can tell us why they've been chasing these hunters. We can get details. Or a ride.
Yeah, the ride, sure, and we'll have plenty of time to talk. It's more, where do we want to go? How indebted to these people do we want to be?
Yusuf, there's no talking you out of it, is there?
No.
What can we do?
I can do what I can. I'm their protector. It was my job. And I left. And this happened.
Why did you leave?
Same reason you all left. I got called to that mountain. We were
When you say
talking-
called, Cadence pops in. Like visions?
I had a headache.
Huh.
Like I got restless and then I started walking and I got a headache and it only went away when I was walking north. And
Weird.
then I don't remember anything after the first day or two of travel. And I woke up
Huh.
in the north.
Well, that's weird. Haven't had anything like that, but I've had visions.
Yeah, how was your New Year's? Cat?
My New Year's?
Yeah.
Well,
Dreams?
Yeah, but of some place I've never seen or been to before. Something like a mountain, sort of, but a solitary one. And just flashes of an old, burned, scorched mountain to the south somewhere. But I don't know anything about southern region too much.
Would that trip anything for me?
A burned mountain, like a volcano.
Kind of looks volcano-ish, yeah.
Would that description trigger anything for me, like a burned lonely mountain? Do you need me to make a history check?
Yeah, it's not a very high DC.
Yeah, I'll assist you.
21.
I got a 16.
Lonely
map.
Mountain, Charlie.
God.
Charlie!
Does the Lonely Mountain have a dragon with a horde in it?
There's a hobbit and some
Hobbits
dwarves
on the
going to
way.
there right now.
Misty Mountain.
Leysa, the description sounds something very similar to a place a little bit to the south and east of your order, the Usurper's Fall. That's the only thing you know of that would be a burned out, scorched mountain range or a mountain. And Cadence is talking, it's like, yeah, the land around it's pretty dead, but the vision is just of the mountain. It's a weird dream. and it's looking at the mountain. If I'm going to be dreaming about something, why would I be staring at a mountain?
Do I know anything about Usurper's Fall?
In the Vegas history that you've studied and maybe even dosed to in lessons, it was at one point home to a horde, or as the story goes, a horde of dragons that had control. They would burn places, they would hunt. They had free reign. The continent wasn't very inhabited down there. The chromatic scale, like it was all the colors. The one time they had unity, but over time, their greed got the better of them, and with infighting, they basically fought each other to oblivion, taking out the mountain with them, and parts of the mountain ranges throughout Valdarian, they've had that char to them. You get the sense that there's a history of them with the continent, but further to the south.
So this is a place in the south with another dead civilization. It's not the Modron, but it's a bunch of dragons, and they were all together, and then they burned the whole mountain down when they couldn't be together anymore. It sounds a little too familiar.
Doesn't it, though?
Little bit.
So,
Oh.
It's close to home for me, though.
yeah.
Wait, that is a mountain here? Oh.
Yeah, down south, yeah.
Oh.
So,
Well, it's not like I need to go. I'm for some reason it's in my dreams.
Wait,
When did your dreams start?
Not too long ago, maybe a week or so. But I had the most vivid one like a couple days ago.
is this...
Really weird.
I don't know, you say you compelled to the mountain, Ken? Don't want to put words in your mouth, but...
Not necessarily. I mean, it seemed fascinating and seemed like an interesting place.
So
I mean, it would
this
be kind of cool to...
So this tower happened. We happened. South may not have happened yet.
Yeah.
What?
God, really don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't go south.
Oh, okay. I mean, we got some responsibilities on this ship, so it's not like,
Or drop us south.
Where is the ship going?
Oh, Skypoint. Yeah. Captain has some stuff to go over with the nobles there and the king.
What?
But don't tell him I said so.
What do you mean?
I said more than I probably should have. But we're going to Skypoint for business. Now that we've dealt with whatever this is.
I just want to nope right out of all of this. Like,
Is the captain a good man?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best. I am a little biased. He got me out of a rough patch. But, I mean, you see the thing we've got, right? This thing is pretty cool.
Leysa's just looking at Feder, her eyes boring into him, being like, you need to talk to your dad.
You say that he has business and dealings with the king.
Yeah. Would you want to talk to him? Honestly, I'm not supposed to say much. But I'm sure I can put in a word for you if you want to talk to him.
Sure.
Sure.
Kat, why don't you do this? Why don't head on up to the ship?
Maybe not Knife Guy. Just give it a day or two with the...
Yeah, well,
But you, I mean, names. I gotta get your names, guys. This is a
ask
night.
Drago.
Ask Drago? Okay.
Give us a moment.
Sure.
We'll meet you up on the
Yeah,
ship.
I'm gonna go up on the ship. They're serving food, and I'm fucking famished, so I'm gonna go up there.
Yeah.
She fucks off, crawls up the rope, and you hear, hot dog.
Yeah, I know. I need to talk to my dad. I want to know what we want before I do that. Because I don't want to get dragged into whatever bullshit with these guys he's been dragged into.
Leysa takes a long look at Yusuf, because they've been good to one another so far. I know you need to help your people, but I think we need to go south. I think that's the best way to help them, is to figure out why this is all happening. Because I don't think it's an accident. I think Skypoint sounds a bit like a trap.
Admiral Akbar in the background. It's a drop.
Damn straight.
See that shit? No one ever listens to me.
But I just don't want you to think it's personal or anything. If we decide to go to Skypoint, I'll fight alongside you and get your people back.
I mean, your words are wisdom. I don't know what I could do by myself. If anything, I think having Taz along for the ride without the ring on would actually help, because it would bring those riders into the town and create a diversion. It's not an option, I know.
She like looks at Yusuf in this like,
And-
I will fucking kill you.
And I'm looking at Yusuf with the I will also take turns fucking killing you.
But I know that's not an option. It's just the only possibly advantageous move that could be made for them. It's not an option.
I hate to be,
Don't have the resources for it.
to sound exceptionally cruel about this, but if their killing's done, and it may sound unpleasant, but their use now, insofar as whatever they're doing, is to have them alive. That's not a life many of us would want to live, but that's something. I mean, I know that sounds awful. And again, we don't know, but if we're on a timetable here with the southern mountain, and I'm assuming there's a western mountain, what do we do? Because it's not one gnome, right? I know there is one gnome, but it's all of the gnomes. I just don't see us marching, 100, 200 gnomes out of the city? Breaking them out of incarceration somewhere?
Not without help, certainly.
We
Yeah.
may be able to, and this would require a lot of talking on my part, but we could go to the Varoshdea and see if they'll help. The gnomes were part of their own thing. They were part of their own ecosystem. This is a wrong that perhaps they can help right covertly if we go south. But I also don't want to go to my people and not help yours.
Trying to get them out of Skypoint, and in particular away from the Rascallian Dominion on our own,
I know. It's not feasible in any sense of the word.
we will end up dead.
But I have a network that can help.
At least find out where they ended up, what the situation is,
Well, that's
what we're walking into.
that's why I'm torn too, because going south means the timetable for that starting.
Maybe.
I can't even make
They're
moves
going
in
to
the city.
Skypoint. She's going to Skypoint. Us going south might not start it up.
Feder, no one else seems to have it with the base perception, but you notice that Scoil is just kind of off to the side, not listening, but trying to approach.
Come on in, Scoil.
Hey, I noticed you guys were deliberating. I didn't want to be nosy. It seems like everyone up there is planning on leaving soon. It sounds like they're going to Edgewater to get the necessary supplies and repairs. And I don't know if you guys are going to go with them or if you're going to go off on your own. But if so, I'm going to go with them.
We should at least go back to Edgewater.
Yeah, we're gonna hit
don't
you, Red. Yeah.
Galatha will want to know some of this, and maybe she can help.
She pulls out her platinum bar. I don't feel right about taking this from you guys.
No, it's yours.
No, it's
Squirrel, you've done so much.
You didn't take it. We gave it to you.
I didn't do a lot up there on the tower.
Doesn't matter.
It wasn't about the tower. It was about leading up to the tower and through the tower and on top.
Okay.
And Scoil, as I said, and then I'll pull out like a parchment that's folded up and hand it to her. And I was like, you look this over. This is from me on behalf of my family. It seems like terms that you're amenable to. Sign it at your discretion. I would recommend it because there are certain protections that will be offered to you. Read it over on your time, and
I must ask, given the outburst on the ship and the tower, and how there seems to be some family stuff, should I wait to sign this? I will read it and I will sign it, but should I wait?
that family, and I'll point towards the boat, has nothing to do with this family.
Okay.
You see that the way the Hells tend to deal with people that they want found. And I kind of just, like, nudge towards. Assuring my family that you have no ill intent towards them will do a great deal to protect you.
Scoil, take the platinum bar for everything that you did, for those that you lost in the tower as much as we did. And for me personally, I would appreciate it if you took it for Miska.
Okay. She puts it back. Just weighing on my mind. You guys seemed pretty deep in discussion. I can let you back to that. I might just be cautious around this group. And Feder, when we get back to Edgewater, if you will, I'd like an audience with you.
Of course.
But I'm going to go back to the ship. They have food. You might want to meet the cook. The cook is kind of an interesting thing. I've never seen a Ganassi before. Anyways, she bows and starts heading back up the rope ladder.
Leysa looks at Feder. Are you being serious right now with another contract?
Of course.
It seems like your family is what created this mess.
This is
Your grandpa was in on it too.
one incident in a legacy
It's a big incident.
that spans millennia.
This is a big incident that spans centuries. A century.
All I'm doing...
He killed your cousins.
Yeah, but the funny thing is they were family. And I feel like it would have almost been better to have been in contract. Because family just fucks each other over.
How do you know you're even acting as an agent of them anymore? How do you know this contract's even valid if it's coming from you?
The contract's the contract, and I have ability to write. I wrote this out last night. The ink took. This is for her protection.
She's an elf that's centuries old. I don't know that she necessarily needs your protection.
It's his way of life. Whether it works or not, at least it'll make him feel better.
She'll run until they catch her. It's not a life. It's not a life. And
Who's chasing her?
Exactly.
they know I'm here. They will have found out that she guided us here. They will have intuned somehow that she got into the tower. And it means she knows. And the only way that she doesn't know is if she's dead. Or if they come to an agreement. But it's only a matter of time. Scoyle's already dead. And this contract that I've given her might just save her life.
What a business.
I know it seems counterintuitive, Leysa, but the best protection I can offer her is the protection from the very people that are trying to kill her, by the people that are trying to kill her. I know it doesn't make sense. They'll honor this. Without it, she's dead in a week.
Fantasy capitalism at its best.
Yeah.
Hey, so
There's always an angle.
lady and gents, they're leaving. We should probably hop on there.
At least to Edgewater, yeah?
At least to Edgewater.
You should talk to your
And
dad while we're on the boat.
You should
Sure.
do that, and I need to go find Cadence.
We should swing by and make sure Joseph isn't waiting for us still on that boat.
I'm sure we will pass him.
We have the, flare rock, yeah?
We do. And the fog or stuff hasn't really let up other than giving you a view of the ship.
Any of the places we need to go with a bit of alacrity. So, at least getting the airship to Edgewater is a start.
I go up on the airship.
Sure. You see the crew prepping, getting things ready to go, and
I'm looking for Cadence.
Cadence?
Where's Cadence?
you pull aside one of the sailors and you ask where the
Where's
tiefling.
Cadence? Where's Cadence?
She's down eating still.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, she eats a lot. And he goes back to.
Yep.
You go down to lower deck and.
Yusuf, would you accompany me to try to speak with the captain?
Sure.
Taslan, as you get down there, she's at one of the tables, just kind of in this low deck galley, and she's just snarfing away at the food she's got.
So I kind of slide in next to her, put my
Sure.
arm around her, much like we did with the other dwarf that didn't have a beard.
Oh yeah. Sven Opal Stomper.
Yeah, I'm like, so Cadence.
Oh hey, what's going on?
Hey, so
Hey.
yeah, everything that you kind of heard us talking about
Yeah.
down there. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you kept that quiet.
Oh yeah. It's filed away as not really important. I don't care enough to keep it
Good.
in there.
That's great, because if I hear you saying it to anybody, you won't like to see me when I'm mad.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's the horns and the whole devil thing. Yeah. Who would I even tell?
Cool. We have an understanding?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Are you gonna have some of this food, or are you gonna?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Go up there. Say hi to the cook. You sense that she doesn't really care enough about the details. For better or worse, it's probably gonna be her downfall.
Leysa, since you've ingratiated yourself to the crew a bit, would you come with Yusuf and I as we speak to the captain? I at least want to come to some sort of an agreement as to what we would like of them and what they, in turn, will probably expect from us.
I think we should talk to your dad first. Get a lay of the land.
A voice comes up from down below. I agree.
I was like, wow, that tiefling's loud. Thaumaturgy.
Sure.
I mean, I think
I think if
as a dumb person who sometimes gets suckered by much smarter people, I notice this captain has employed a lot of people like me, and we should be wary. So let's go speak to your dad.
yeah,
I'm
well,
learning.
I would count him maybe as one of the dumb ones, but let's find out, I suppose.
I don't think anyone that birthed you could be that dumb, Feder.
That's very kind, I suppose.
It wasn't a compliment. It's more just like you would have like murdered them and steamrolled them and imprisoned them in Dis or something already if
Yeah, well,
if they couldn't hold their own.
don't think my family didn't try.
You pass by the same sailor is walking by. You ask him where Drago is. Oh yeah, he's down in the galley. He's eating.
Taz has been with him this whole time.
She didn't pay much attention to Daddy.
All right.
Yeah, you and Taslan, as they're heading down, you walk up to the cook, and you see a tall, thin, athletic Ganassi with skin of smooth, polished obsidian. Her hair is black and seems to move on its own, while at the same time looking well groomed.
It was in an air genasi?
Sounds like a fire.
The eyes shimmer like diamonds, and a few scars manifest as fissures, behind which a faint red glow emanates.
I was thrown off by the hair.
She holds out a plate and puts stuff on it. For you.
Thanks. Nice hair.
Thanks. Very neutral voice. Since you didn't leave right away, is there something wrong with it?
No, this is cool.
Exceptional.
Okay. I just like turn and walk away.
You see Caden's like, yeah. Weird, huh?
I don't give a shit about her. So I want to stealth up to the old man.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can get a jump on him.
What is your roll?
Only a 14. Just right.
Enough. He's distractedly, he's not even eating his food, he's just staring off.
Yeah, it's just, I am just suddenly just next to him. And I'll be like, all right, old man, what do you have to say to yourself?
He takes a moment to compose. Scare the shit out of him. So, you want the whole thing? The story? Is that it?
Sad fucking sack. Yeah, but save me the melodrama, yeah.
Nah.
You lost the ship, I already heard.
Okay, so Caden's yapped or trap. That's fine. Yeah, I'll give you, Cliff Notes, if that's what you want. Bullet points. You already know that your family doesn't care for me that much. Rakshasa made an attempt on my life.
Sure. When was that?
You know when I went missing? When I was gone? And the explanation was bullshit, I'm assuming?
Yeah, when you went there to pick me up?
Yeah. He decided to play a little trick on your old man. Disguised as you.
Tasselin slowly creeps over.
Yeah, and you didn't check the hands, Dad?
That was his critical error. And, well, let's just say it was a group effort, sending him back to the hells.
This group?
Yes.
So this was after they dragged your sad ass out of the ocean?
No, actually. The crew of the Entrada. They helped.
Okay.
Not these guys.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been a little bit much for these guys.
I get that sense.
It was just very weird to be attacked by you in that way. But, melodrama, anyways. We took care of that. So I'm sure I'm on his shit list for all of time.
Yeah, but weren't we all kind of...
Yeah, true. Fucking bastard. I don't know what your aunt saw in him, or sees in him. I bet he's still there. He's probably still around.
Yeah,
Fuckers
he's-
like that have a use.
Of course he is.
Yeah. But I haven't encountered him since, so maybe he lost interest. Doubt it.
Then you ran afoul of the orcs?
Yeah. The Black Skull. Scalanugto. In my hubris, I thought I could deal with him if it ever came up.
Swindle them?
I will neither confirm nor deny that.
Mm-hmm, there we go. There's the old man.
Yeah.
So they destroyed your prized possession and murdered all
Everyone.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, everyone first, for sure.
Yeah.
One by one.
And then our benevolent captain came and saw some spark of genius in you and decided to drag you out of the water?
Nothing like genius. You know me better than that, Feder. No, I think it was pity.
That sounds right. So, grand noble quest for the old man?
Well, my plan was to get another ship and take my revenge on the Black Skull. But after telling the captain everything and detailing my melodramatic life, he gave me another suggestion. One of a different purpose, which you saw some. Taking down any threats to the material plane.
Yeah, but for who, Dad? Who's paying the bills?
I don't think that is nearly as important. These things are, as the captain says, and you get a sense that he's not 100% on the Kool-Aid.
You just tell me when the ear for deceit roll comes, because
Now,
I will do it.
but essentially, as the captain puts it, any of these things that come to the material plane are up to no good and only cause pain.
Like Mom? Dad? What would our captain think of our mother?
Well, he'd probably consider her a peach. But that's not what I mean. I mean fucking things like Githyanki, Githarazi, Demon Riders. Fuckers like that up there at the tower. What purpose do they have here? What are they doing? Other than... Here's where he started to buy in a little bit. What do they have? You have contracts. I can at least wrap my head around that business. Because a deal's a deal, and we have shit like that on the seas anyways. But joyriders on demon horses, laying waste to towns, to cities? For what? Like, where's their bill? Where's their check? I'm sure the hells miss them, and we're just doing a favor.
So they're not associated with anyone?
Those? No, they're their own thing. Hellfire Riders, Phlegothos.
And I'm just like, I'm looking at Taz too with all this.
Yeah.
As I've like stealthily sat down while I'm eating my food.
He's too busy being like, da-da-da, like he's on focus on Feder.
I am standing arms crossed at the end of the table, if anyone had any.
Yeah, no, they are essentially Fiona's joyriders. Her busybodies, her bitches, and do what she wants.
The second he said Fiona's Joyriders, Tasslin kind of like chokes a little bit.
Because I'm tight. But as far as we know, and as far as we gather, all they do is come here and destroy. So why not? Why not send them back? Make it tougher to destroy things. And sure, like, they haven't destroyed anything of mine. It's really others on the crew who have experienced, well, our captain. So there's revenge. It's all revenge. What is this all but a game of trading in death?
You know the language of the contracts, Dad. Cui bono. Cui bono, man. Who benefits? To what end? I mean, the dwarves are locked up in the mountain. It seems like Storm Queen's high on her own supply. This entire plane is on a knife's edge, ready to start murdering each other. So, are you just happy to just hit things that you might actually be able to hit harder than they can hit you?
Well, my boy is smart as ever.
Yeah, so where are you off to now then?
Well, I think once we get fixed up, our fucking mage has to spend almost all her life force per day getting these things recharged, so we're going to be in Edgewater for a little bit.
And then off to see the king?
More or less. He starts tapping at the table a little bit. Not necessarily being deceitful, but not necessarily like being forthright.
I'm just gonna go ahead and roll like a blanket here for deceit.
Like he's indicating things with his gestures. You sense he is communicating a little bit, so...
Okay, it's can't then. He's tapping something out in the old can't. Is it some sort of code?
It's more of the things he's not going to be saying.
Okay.
Let's just say that we have a particular set of... I'm not going to say that line. It's from a different movie.
Particular set of skills.
Particular set of skills.
You have to realize we are on a ship.
I will find you.
A miracle of magic and science fused together. We are going to do our end to make something of it. And while revenge is nice, it doesn't get it all done.
Right.
And who cares about what side is what, who owns continents? I think the war is going to be had, regardless of who is on a throne, high atop a tower, or a castle, or a keep, or whatever the fuck. So let them have their tools, and let us be on our way. Let us send those bastards, devils, whatever these fucking things are, back to where they come from. Make it harder for them. Like I said, it's not for nothing.
I look at Daz and I look at Leysa and I'm like, do we need anything else out of this?
Hey, Pops.
Yeah?
Can we talk about some of those riders a little bit later?
Sure, I guess. Yeah.
Not right now, but later.
Okay.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
I like your dad, Feder.
Yeah.
He's really smart.
What an endorsement. There is a moment where he pauses.
Yeah.
His tapping on the table stops. Mm-hmm. He starts to ask something. How? No.
She's stuck, Dad. She's stuck.
But she's alive.
Sailing the seas on the ship that you weren't good enough to keep from sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Yes, she's there. She's always been there. I don't know what fucking deal you struck, but you got to leave and she's still there. And I don't know why, but she fucking misses you. There you go. Try not to burn down any gnome villages, okay? And I walk away.
His eyes follow you as you leave, and then he looks back at his food and then kind of off.
Probably a good word of advice. Pops, if you want a relationship with your son, you should probably figure out how to fix that. Because it is just about broken.
So it would seem. So it would seem.
And for the record,
When did you get here?
I've been here the whole time.
Shit, I gotta do better with my perception rolls.
I'll say, I'm wearing armor. And just for the record, though, the people that do care are the ones that are trodden underfoot. And then I walk towards the captain.
People are gonna kill each other. Our plane is ours. That's the most consistent thing. That's what we can protect. I get you.
You're at the table too?
Yeah, I've just been listening. I'm quite enchanted by Feder's dad. Obviously, there is a shared sort of philosophy there.
Yeah, and he stares at you for a bit. I don't know. It at once seems not as complex and infinitely complex.
I would think your kid and the love for your kid and the relationship for your kid would not be complex. And me as a parent I'd do just about anything to keep my relationship with my kid. But that's your choice.
You've also not had what you thought was your son trying to kill you, or your extended family trying to kill you. That does put things in a different light.
But was it really your son trying to kill you?
Well, obviously not, but...
So why are you blaming it on him?
I don't know.
Seems pretty simple to me.
Well, what is he looking for? And he pushes his food aside. Did I just go back? Accept death? Be like, hey, I've missed you guys, and I've been broken, and all that melodramatic shit.
You know, sometimes just telling the truth and a simple, yeah, I fucked up, I left you and I'm sorry, goes a long way.
Food for thought, I suppose. And he gets up and starts to walk away. And Cadence is just sitting off to the side, just watching, like, mouth. She's big swallow. Wow.
I deal with big things very often.
That's the most he's spoken in a while.
Mind
They're
blowing.
so much alike. Wow.
Interesting. Should we go talk to the captain now?
Oh, yeah. You guys should go if you want to talk to the captain.
Yeah, I turned to Leysa. We should go talk to the captain now, yeah?
Yes.
Should have some seconds.
Parents. Can't live with them. Can't live without them. Still, if that was an apology, Drago needs to get slapped with a brick. Anyway, the hour is late and these pails are empty. So I'll have to put our story on hold. Come back next time to witness more planning and familial drama here on these Demon Days.
This is where Leysa just lets you go up and then stays watching Fetter's dad.
Just sits there and watches. Just, can you eat slower? Just eat slower.
Y'all,
Let me just watch you walk
broken
away.
boy.
Yeah, and that's where we'll end it.
She
Oh
won't.
my
She
God.
won't touch Junior, but she'll touch Dad.
No, I'm not gonna bone him, but I may create a mutiny and become a pirate. Leysa's got stuff she needs to do.
I got people to do, places to see.
Yes.
Fiona's Joyriders.
That's stressful.
How are they Fiona's Joyriders if they were all from different levels of hell? And then there's a ninth one.
Also, granted, that's Drago's synthesis
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
information.
I mean, I would
Find out
not. I would not put it over Fiona to basically worm her way into having somebody else from each level of hell be her plaything.
Yeah.
Because that's totally her style.